You know the feeling. Bills pile up, debt hangs over you. Every decision feels like it has a price tag attached to it. You stand in the grocery store, staring at the total, wondering which item to put back. You check your account before buying something small, like coffee or gas, because even those dollars matter. And in those moments, the weight of financial struggle isn't just about money. It's about dignity, freedom, and peace of mind. When money is tight, the world feels smaller, choices shrink, dreams are postponed, joy feels irresponsible. But the cruelest part is not just the lack of money, it's what we spend instead. Because when you don't have enough financially, you start paying with things that money could never buy. You spend your time, you spend your energy, you spend your peace, you spend your hope. Think about it. How many hours have you lost lying awake at night, replaying numbers in your head, calculating bills like equations that never solve? How much of your attention has been stolen from moments that should have been joyful, dinners with family, laughter with friends, sunsets outside your window? Because in the back of your mind, the stress of money was louder than the moment? How many opportunities have you missed? Not because you lacked talent or desire, but because survival took priority over growth. Financial stress has a way of chaining your mind. It makes you second-guess yourself. It makes you settle for less. It makes you forget that your value is not defined by your bank account. And yet, in the process, we end up trading away the very things that no dollar amount can ever replace. Time. Once it's gone, you never get it back. Energy, the mental and emotional reserves you burn through while worrying. Relationships, the closeness that fades when you're too stressed to truly connect. Health, the exhaustion, the skipped meals, the restless sleep that wears you down. Money struggles trick us into thinking we're only broken dollars, but the truth is, we can become broke in spirit. We begin to live not in the present moment, but in a future debt that hasn't even come yet. We begin to sacrifice joy, saying, I'll be happy when the bills are paid, when the debt is gone, when the money comes. But life doesn't wait for your financial situation to improve. Life is happening right now. And here's the hard truth. No matter how much money you make, it will never buy back the time you've wasted in worry. It will never restore the energy drained by stress. It will never rebuild the relationships you neglected while chasing stability. Money can add comfort, but it cannot add meaning. So the question is, if money is scarce, how do you stop it from robbing you of what matters most? First, you remember that your worth is not tied to your wallet, your humanity, your dignity, your dreams. These cannot be measured in dollars. If you tie your value to money, you will never feel rich enough. If you tie your value to who you are becoming, you will realize you already carry a wealth far greater than currency. Second, you become conscious of what you are spending that isn't money. When you worry endlessly, you are spending your peace. When you overwork yourself without rest, you are spending your health. When you isolate out of shame, you are spending your relationships. Awareness is the first step to changing what you spend. Third, you learn to invest where money cannot touch. Invest in time. Be present even in struggle. Invest in gratitude. Notice what is still here, even when much is missing. Invest in love. Because love given freely multiplies in ways money never can. Invest in yourself. Because growth, discipline, and courage will outlast any paycheck. Yes, money matters. It feeds you, houses you, protects you. But when money is scarce, it is tempting to believe life itself is scarce. That joy must wait. That love must pause. That meaning must be postponed. But that is the greatest lie. Think about history. Some of the most inspiring people, writers, artists, leaders, were not born into wealth. They struggled. They sacrificed. But they chose to spend their limited resources on what mattered most: their craft, their purpose, their relationships. And their legacy is priceless. The truth is, we cannot always control our financial circumstances, but we can control what we trade for them. If you trade your time, trade it for growth, not for worry. If you trade your energy, trade it for creating, not for fearing. If you trade your attention, trade it for what feeds your soul, not what empties it. Because no matter how much money you make, you will never feel wealthy if you are bankrupt in meaning. Ask yourself, am I letting financial stress steal years of my life? Am I waiting for money before I allow myself to be happy? Am I trading the priceless for the temporary? You don't have to deny the hardship. You can face it honestly. But you don't have to hand over your spirit as payment. You can be broke in money and still rich in love, rich in purpose, rich in courage. Money will come and go. That's its nature. But the choices you make with your time, your heart, your relationships, those are forever. So maybe the question is not, how do I get more money? Maybe the question is, how do I protect what money cannot buy? Protect your mornings from worry. Start them with gratitude. Protect your nights from fear. End them with reflection. Protect your relationships from distance. Choose connection over shame. Protect your dreams from delay. Take one small step each day, even if your wallet feels empty. Because one day, the bills will be paid, the debts will be cleared, the money will flow again. But will you still have yourself? Will you still have your health? Will you still have your peace? Will you still have the people you love? Do not let financial struggle bankrupt the parts of you that are irreplaceable. Spend wisely, not just with money, but with time, with love, with attention. Because in the end, those are the currencies that matter most. And here's the final truth. Happiness is not postponed until your financial situation improves. Happiness is built in the middle of the struggle, when you realize that your life is bigger than your bills, when you stop measuring your worth by your wallet, when you stop spending what is priceless on what is temporary. You may be broke in money, but you do not have to be broke in spirit. You may be in debt, but you do not have to be in despair. You may lack comfort, but you do not have to lack meaning. Because money can buy many things, but the richest life is built from what it cannot touch.